You yourself are also from Austria, or?
No, I'm half Irish, half German.
Half Irish.
Very confusing mix. Very confusing mix. So if you're a startup, press the like button. If you're a startup saying, I'm really going to make an impact, comment below and let me know what your impact is. Now, if you're a startup and you're really into creating an impact, and whatever happens, you're not going to give up because you will persevere, press the notification button. If you don't know what the notification button is, and that's the bell button down there. Yes, pleasure to kind of also let you know what that is. Hello Internet, I'm Daniel, and today I'm seemingly channeling my inner Bavarian. Hello Internet, and as I said, today I'm channeling my inner Bavarian at the amazing Bits and Pretzels conference. Yes, it's so funny. You've got all these people running around in traditional Bavarian clothes, you've got startups, you've got corporates pitching, and obviously I'm right in between and really enjoying myself. It's about 5,000 people, and while I'm here just kind of look around and check it out. And I've been hosting a couple panels on corporate and startup cooperation. You know, that's obviously one of my favorite topics. And yeah, tell you a little more about that shortly. But what do you think of my look? Cool? Yes, I think so. So imagine you're looking at your RS6 performance and go like, yeah, it's okay, but it could do with a little more power. Yes, I know Jeremy Clarkson once said you can never have enough power, but the thing is, seriously, 605 horsepower is a lot. But that's not what the boys and girls at Apple thought. They thought, yes, the RS6 could do with a little more power, so they created the RS6-E, and it has a bit more power. Actually, it has 400 horsepower more. It's got 1,018 horsepower, that's that rocket ship there, I'm getting confused, and it's got nearly 1,300 Newton meters of torque, and it goes like the clappers. There's a great video on YouTube you should certainly check out. I'll put it down there in the link somewhere. What a car, and it's great to see it here at Bits and Pretzels, so quite cool. So the funny thing is, while just kind of drooling over the Audi RS6-E, I bumped into some old friends.
Hello!
So, tell me, what is it what you do?
We handle everything about negotiations.
And what does that mean?
Have you heard about the story of our company?
Go on.
Well, our CEO, Matthias Schreiner, he worked for many years for the German police as a hostage-negotiator, and then he went to USA, got trained by FBI in law enforcement. At some time during his career, he realized that the tactics they use in law enforcement are really applicable also in the business environment. That's why he retrieved from FBI and started studying in law and psychology, and meanwhile he developed the Schreiner negotiation method, and nowadays we have the Schreiner Negotiation Institute. If you want anything and have training seminars for the Schreiner for your cases, you can easily reach us at Schreiner.com.
That was a good pitch, right? But the thing is, what I'd really like to know is, in 10 seconds, what's the number one thing you need to know in negotiating?
Never be involved emotionally.
Never be involved emotionally, and he goes like so we've learned a lot. Never get involved emotionally, so it doesn't work in relationships.
It works especially in relationships, Daniel.
I've learned so much today. Now I'm back at the hotel, and I've just hosted a couple sessions, all on the same topic, one of my favorite topics, that's startup and corporate collaboration, and it's been quite interesting. So what could I establish? Something, well, I've known, but I still find it really interesting. All relevant people kind of brought us to the same conclusion. Now, if a startup collaborates with the corporate or vice versa, it's certainly a risky thing. And what I also found interesting, all parties kind of said, look, and there's several startups and several corporates, we started collaborating long before we had the right contracts in place, because that takes too long. So it required on both sides a certain level of risk. And that was necessary. So you need two people that are willing to take risks on both sides, and that requires a special type of person, and it also requires a certain level of trust. And we could also establish these whole things are all about trust, and we quickly came to the conclusion, if you are interested in collaborating, try and build trust. If you don't like the person on the other side, it's like a relationship. If you cannot bond, chances are it will not work. The next thing that's going to happen is you're going to build up this relationship. So you need to, as a startup, establish trust within the person managing the whole innovation business. This person is going to have to build up trust within his own innovation unit, and that innovation unit is going to have to try and create trust within the whole company. That's a long process, and that requires a certain level of time. Now, what I also found really interesting is long before you build relationships, what you really need, and this is a challenge for a startup, is, let me take my glasses off, you need to find the right person. Now, as a startup, and all of the startups I spoke with today, yesterday, and in the last couple of years, we're all like saying the same thing. And I had the same thing. You spend too much time talking to the wrong person that cannot call the shots, that doesn't understand you. So, in other words, as a company, if you're listening in, what do you need to do to collaborate with startups? Create a single, clear point of contact for startups to say, hello, we're there, we'd like to work with you. Make that super clear, because the thing is, this person should then be responsible from within the company to do all the politics and networking, whatever's clear. Now, once we've found the right person, we've established trust, it's super important to say, hey, have we got the same vision? Do we both work for the same? Are we creating, as old as it sounds, a win-win? Because if you don't have the same vision, if you don't have the same thing you're fighting for, you will hinder yourselves. And then obviously what I found really interesting was talking today to a company called Linde. What I found really interesting was they say, look, we have a 3 months time frame, and within that we have to find out if it makes sense or not. And I thought it was really fine, because it was quite a smart move. It was about speed, being quick to come to a conclusion. Does this or that work within 3 months? And for that you need a certain level of budget to kind of also give it a shot, because let's be honest, innovation requires a couple euros, but not as much as you would think, especially not if you have a limited time frame. Because the worst thing that can happen to you as a startup is the corporate does not come to a conclusion. You spend month and month and month on something to then find out it doesn't work. That can kill you as a startup. And as a corporate, you can waste a lot of time and energy. So I found it really smart to limit the time frame you're working on to see, well, do we have a relationship we can build upon? Do we manage to establish trust? And do we manage to align our vision? Really, really fascinating. I quite like that approach. Oh, and one more thing I found really interesting. Now, the fellow from Linde said, look, you don't need to go to Silicon Valley. Go to Asia instead, because they're more positive for change. A lot of stuff that's happening in Asia is a lot further than we would think. And I quite like that as well, because, you know, there's a lot of corporates that kind of do this whole Silicon Valley tour. Yep, it's cool, but maybe that's not where you have your customers. Maybe that's not where you have your business. Then again, you do have a lot of interesting business happening in Asia. Quite exciting. So if you want to look into the future, question if Silicon Valley is the right path. Maybe it's Asia, maybe it's somewhere totally different. But it doesn't mean if you want to be innovative that you need to go to the Bay Area to do all the startup malarkey. Not saying you don't have to, not saying it's not good for you, but I'm just saying before you do it, question if it's the right move. Oh, and by the way, have a look at this nice hotel. Quite like it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this stuff off, because if you're really new to this channel, I'm actually not Bavarian, although I kind of quite enjoy trying to look like the locals, which is always a good thing. But I'm going to take this off and hit the showers and then head back to Vienna. Should be fun.